Hello, everyone, and welcome to Unconventional GMs, the channel where we play games with pace, vim, and vigor in about 2 hours or less. I'm one of your hosts, Gaz, and today we're going to be going into the world of Pendragon. This is something we've played before on the channel, but we've got a whole new cast, well, partial new cast, and we're going to give it another go. Just a little note on addition that this won't be wholly the new edition. I'll use some of the old rules as well and mix and match. So I look forward to seeing the YouTube comments about which you prefer and how you think things have gone. Otherwise, the rules are mostly the same. So if you've not played Pendragon before or watched it, this should be a good enough hint for you anyway and how it goes. So then, enough about me. Let's start introducing the people we have around the table and who they will be playing tonight. Can I start, please, with Lydia? Who are you? What do you do? And who are you playing?
Hi, everybody. I'm Lydia. I'm a ttrpg podcaster, mainly working in the Call of Cthulhu world. This is my first time playing Pendragon, and I'm really excited because I've always loved the Arthurian myths. And tonight I'm playing Sir Bertram, and he is a very distinguished young knight. He's from an aristocratic family, and he's very proud of his aquiline nose, which he says is a testament to his good bloodline. His other thing that he's most proud of is his horses. He loves his horses, and he loves to joust. He's much better with the lance than he is with a sword, and his pride and joy is his Andalusian charger by the name of Santiago, a dapple grey stallion from Spain. Very, very fine bloodline.
Beautiful. I'm going to immediately write down the horse's name because this will be important for the rest of the adventure. Thank you. Yeah. It's now in danger. And we have another new person to our channel, which is great to have. Camille, would you like to introduce yourself and your character, please?
Hello, thanks so much for inviting me on. I'm just going to steal Lydia's intro. I'm also a ttrpg podcaster who does a lot of Cthulhu-related things. So, I'm on How We Roll. That's kind of my little home. But yeah, tasks. Your own. And yeah, again, also dragons. Excited to try out this system and a little nightly things. So tonight I will be playing Sir Casper, and it's 3 things you got to know about Sir Casper: loves his lord, he loves his god, and he hates the Saxons. He's a very chaste man, very generous, and he's also very indulgent when it comes to wine. And in keeping with his indulgence in booze, Sir Casper also enjoys a song and a dance, which you'd never think a wine drinker would be a song and a dance, but here we are. In fact, that's quite frequently that a fairy whispered a song in his ears. That totally happened, and it wasn't just as he was drifting off after a hard night. It completely happened, okay? He'll prove it.
Sure.
And he's got a squire called Paul who will fix up all your strains and sprains and aches. Paul has to put up with quite a lot of that for. So yes, that is me tonight.
Beautiful, thank you, Camille. And a returning guest, we have Tasha.
Hi, I'm Tasha, co-founder of Ukrainian tabletop RPG channel Idearoll. One might say I'm the face of Ukrainian Call of Cthulhu, so I'm happily joining to the previous speakers. I did play Pendragon before, however, I did not play this beautiful knight. Was supposed to be Sir Ivan, but I decided to go for a little bit new touch, and it's Dame Ivanka. She's got very kind face, very curly hair, which is often a mess, and you can often see it sticking out from under her helmet. And she's very well traveled, and she has a tendency of listening to people and believing them until life proves her wrong. She knows a beautiful collection of different fun facts and maybe even superstition, one might say. And generally, she's enjoying traveling and talking to people much more than running the estate. So my squire, Dominic, had to pick up the art of running estate, keeping it in order for me.
So thank you. And then last but not least, we have my co-host, Guy.
Hello. Yes, I am not a Cthulhu ttrpg podcaster, although I've just remembered the last game I played was called Cthulhu on this channel. So perhaps I am after all. I do this, and I also blog at burnafterrunning.com, rpg.com. I'm playing Sir Godfrey, a bold, valorous knight, broad-beamed, barrel-chested, a huge figure of a man, known all around the country for his valor, his prudence, his honesty, perhaps not known some more for his energeticness. He likes the finer things in life. When his sword isn't in his hand, he'll often have a drumstick of a capon or some of the snacks that his squire Matthew has secured for him, because a knight rides on his belly. We can't be expected to survive out as noble knights without feeding ourselves well and getting a good night's sleep, or indeed a good day's sleep. A few naps a day is as healthy as I will tell all my young knights as advice when I'm actually awake and not just dozing off on my horse. So yes, Sir Godfrey, at your service.
Wonderful stuff. Well, the four of you being vassals of Earl Henry and be given a particularly interesting task. It appears that in the Perilous Forest, which is modern-day Lancashire, the northwest of England, one particular segment of that, there was a kingdom or a duchy or a piece of land, its rumours are many and varied, which disappeared, was subsumed by this enchanted wood, but recently has returned, and it requires ruling. And although you are quite junior knights errant, he suggested that one of you may be the person that could take that land for himself. It might require all kinds of taming or convincing the locals or other things, and no doubt other knights will be interested in that land themselves. And so it is, you found yourselves in the halls of the Duke of Cheshire even, Randall, the Duke of the City of Legions, and there's a bit of a hubbub about as people are talking about this new kingdom that's appeared again, what enchantment it was under, how long it's been in the Fae realm, what on earth has happened to it, and what might be there now. It still remains to be seen. But the Duke in particular is entertaining all manner of conversations about this. He's got one of his nephews who's known as Barnabas. He looks a little bit like the same sort of beds as Dominic, Ivanka's squire. He looks quite studious. He's probably very good at beekeeping and books and making sure the estate's been on it. He doesn't look like the sort of knight that you would send into fairy enchanted wood full of giant creatures and monsters and other things. But nevertheless, such is the representative of Cheshire that will be going. The rest of you are sat on the benches. There's a big roaring fire. There's a board that's crackling on it. There's trenches of bread being brought out full of meat and gravy, and there's plates of other vegetables. The wine's flowing delightfully around the place. It's all kinds of chatter and song. The Duke himself is there with his wife and various entourage at the head table. There's other visiting knights. There's his household knights. There's ladies of court. Squires running around. There's servants. There's dogs nipping at your feet looking for scraps and bits of chicken bone or wherever else they can get hold of, snuffling about. And it's all quite convivial at this time. And yeah, it just looks like quite an optimistic view, if you will. This is, of course, in the City of Legions, which used to be a Roman city, so there's quite a lot of Roman-style architecture. It looks quite urbane. So it's strange that you feel like you might be in a little bit of a juxtaposition, that you're here in this nice, very cultured city, relatively speaking, and you're about to go into this wild wood where who knows what's there. And one of the priests come round, Hemerson, as he's called, and he sees you at your bench, and you perhaps don't know anybody else around here, so he's doing his bit to kind of introduce you, and he pulls forth some little glasses, and he's got a beautiful wine that he's brought from the old country. It says, this is a delicacy which must be sipped. Perhaps you might try it with me, my brothers. May I wish you good fortune on your trip. And he pours you out some of this thick, syrupy wine in each and says, now remember, just sip it delicately. And he waits to see how you appreciate this fine wine that is laid before you. Anyone who wishes not to immediately gulp down the wine, of course, should make a temperate roll to see if they can resist just sucking down this sweet nectar as fast as they can. So let's have a first roll of the game, if you wish. If you are famously temperate, you don't have to roll. If you are the other way, you may need to make a roll to resist gulping down the wine in a rather uncouth fashion.
I'm going to try and resist because I've got a capon drumstick halfway through. I don't want to spoil that.
Do I roll temperate or do I roll indulgent?
It's up to you which one. Like, are you trying to be temperate? In which case, roll temperate.
I mean, no.
If you're not even trying, you don't even make a roll to be
I've got a 16 in indulgent, but do I indulge in this the way it's meant? I rolled a 1, so on the master
It's only
quaffing.
It's only the beginning of the evening, so you're temperate
the bad rolls
in the beginning.
Get the bad rolls out of the way now.
Cool. Well, you're definitely indulgent. Like, straight away, we just see Sir Casper down in one, but maybe gets a finger in the glass. Get all the syrupy liquid out.
This is delicious. Another one, please.
Oh, I see. Well, this has to go around everybody, I suppose. And he kind of looks a bit dispirited.
Oh, don't worry about it. Come back to me if there's any left.
Oh, of course. And you see him sort of moving along the line, casting glances back. You're not sure if there's been any particular judgment of you just yet. But don't worry, there's a lovely Frankish wine which has now been poured in large goblets, which is much more voluminous. So you've got a good chance to start slaking your thirst. And as the drinks have all been poured, there's then a toast to the Lord's Son, which you can all have a nice drink. Most people drinking the nice little tincture. The priest are standing round. Of course, we have Casper with his huge goblet, just gulping down some Frankish wine, which causes a couple of things. And then the Lord gets his son to make a little speech, but the boy's quite young. He's got a reedy little voice. He tries to tell some tales of his deeds, but they are few and minor, but everybody acts like they're really impressive. And a nice tradition for the Halls. Everybody else starts to tell of their tales and what they've done. And as you note, as it goes round, all the other knights are telling quite weak tales as well about how they jumped over the fence on their horsey or things so as not to show him up. And as it comes around to those of you, perhaps some of you, who may be a little proud, for example, might find it a struggle to just say something that's quite meagre. So if anybody's particularly proud, I'm going to have to insist that you make a roll to be a little bit less prideful when you make a speech. Otherwise, you're going to have to boast about what you've done.
Oh, well, Sir Bertram has a proud of 16.
Thanks.
So I'm guessing he's got a bit of an ego on him. So I suppose that's a proud roll for me. Oh, I have rolled 4 proud and the threshold of 16, so that's a success. Are there gradations of success in Pendragon, or is it just
a little bit?
I've passed.
Ironically, if you roll exactly the number, that would be a critical. So if you rolled the opposite of your proud, which would be 4, and you rolled a 4, that would have been a critical to avoid being proud. But as you chose the proud side, it means that you are prideful. So could you perhaps tell us what it is that you boast of, or what tale you tell of your past that supplants the young lordling's stories?
Definitely. I think he talks about his last joust that he was at, where he managed to unhorse 3 knights in a row, including the previous champion. And he tells this very dramatically, and you can really see the mane of his charger, his Andalusian Spanish charger, blowing in the wind, and you can see his cloak billowing as he describes this, and you can hear the lance splintering as it hits the lance of the other knight, and the wood just flies everywhere, and how the crowd went, whoa! And yes, how he just knocked these other knights out cold 3 times in a row.
Amazing stuff. And I think from your knight's perspective, everything's kind of gone blurred in the background. And he's sort of transformed to that place again and can feel the wind on his cloak. And maybe his squire's behind you with your cloak doing a bit of this to recreate it.
Flap harder, Shivers. Flap harder.
But For the rest of you, you could just see the temperature dropping, the eyes started to stir, and the more he goes on about it, the sort of like the more chilled the atmosphere gets. And so it's when you come to the end of your story, when you pause for the recognition you rightly deserve. There's maybe the dog snuffling under the table is the only thing that can be heard.
Could it just Sir Casper drunkenly going, yes, yes?
That's right. And Sir Casper, of course, who's got swept up in the whole story.
I was one of the ones he hit off the horse, you see.
And Sir Bertram lifts his glass to Sir Casper. Well fought, sir. Well fought.
Right. So you have your private moment, but you don't think you've particularly endeared yourself to the rest of the court. But never mind. You'll be off tomorrow. And so some of the other knights quickly around the other side of the table, like, introduce their own stories to kind of rescue it a little bit. But you can tell the mood's gone a bit down. And looking around, Hemerson says, "Oh, perhaps it's time for the tradition, my lord. Maybe that will buoy everybody's spirits." Yeah, of course. Let's do that. And because they've got a history of Roman legionnaires and stuff like that, they're renowned for how far his men can walk in heavy armor or perform energetic tasks, such as storming the castle. And they look to the largest tower that there is in the castle. They say, perhaps, knights, you would join us in a race. This is a great fun to see who can storm to the top of the tower the fastest.
But of course, that sounds like amazing tradition.
And
Very interesting. I would love to participate.
The household knights are getting up out of the seats. They've had a couple of wines as well, so they're all up for it. And Godfrey, you find like an arm underneath each of your armpits, heaving you up, going, "Come on, big lad, you too."
Which, to the top, you say? Surely that's not... I can't run on a full stomach. This is... this is unlikely to go well. I'll see, though. Yes.
Slow and steady wins the race. Come now. And a mob of you sort of starts getting pushed. I presume you all get swept along with it in some way or other, unless you want to absolutely resist. So the important knight we need to look at is Sir Godfrey to see whether he's energetic or not.
Yeah, I think there's a fair risk that slow and steady wins the race. I think there's a risk that Sir Godfrey ends up at the back, and then, faced with all this remaining food and everyone else running up the tower, maybe decides to stop and take advantage of that. But anyway, I'll roll my energetic, I think.
See.
Just to see. I might pass. No. I'm out of puff almost immediately. I can't.
Okay, so the rest of you have a great time jostling and get to tower and back again. You maybe make a few friends amongst the knights, sort of friendly-natured wrestling stuff. And it's as you're filing back in, you can see Godfrey sat on the bench again, still like gathering up spare plates and stuff and calling for more roast capon. And the Lord's kind of like just staring at him. And to your liking, is it?
Yes. I drop a bit of chicken that the squire like runs and picks up and hands back to me.
Yeah. So, although you're relatively unknown knights, the mood for your section of the table is sort of like really sort of taking a turn for the worse at the minute. Perhaps some people were thinking of backing your claim or coming with you for the adventure or things like that, but it's not looking like it's going too well. And as the evening draws to a close, Hemison the priest comes down again. He wants a blessing. He wants to give a blessing to everyone who might be faced with some adversity, especially those facing the fairy or weird pagan rites, that kind of thing. So it's up for each of you to make a pious or spiritual roll to see if you can take part in this blessing as good Christian knights and feel yourselves protected against what demons or strange things may affect your adventures. So I think I'm looking at Dame Ivanka at this point to say, can you actually say the right words? Can you mean it?
Surprisingly enough, I can.
Yeah.
You've made your roll.
Yes.
Oh, well.
3 out of 4. Yes.
Okay. Not
I was quite nervous, and maybe one of the other knights is like looking at me like, not like the last time.
Okay. You're probably half a second behind everybody else with the words they're saying, but say the same things and sound convincing, which is good. And so as you all receive a blessing, that which may or may not have a game effect, but we'll find out later. But the good news is that you are at least goodly Christian knights with the other people are here. So everybody's at least content that you're not baddies, that you are indeed maybe not the most virtuous knights, but you mean well, and you're only young after all. There's general sense of, well, let them have a few adventures. They'll sort themselves. And so as the night passes quite uneventfully after that, unless there's anything specific you want to do, I'm just going to smash cut ahead, heading towards the forests. So let's cut ahead. It is the following morning. You are going round the River Meuse as flies and insects attack you, as they are doing me in real life. And you're entering into the area which becomes the Perilous Forest. So it's quite a balmy day. It's quite warm, as it is here. It's starting to leak a bit in your padded, quilted vests and stuff that you wear for riding. It's not just you, of course. You've got all your squires with you. You've got a bunch of horses each. So there's quite a big trade of you, a lot of dust being kicked up. So you're not sneaking around by any means. There's it's hard to miss you. But with you also is Sir Barnabas, who is the nephew of the Duke. And he's brought with him a whole bunch of men as well. And they're dressed in like the segmented armor that the Romans used to have. So quite weird, different kind of like style than you're used to, wearing your chain. But Barnabas himself kind of like spurs on his horse so he can be amongst you at the head. I'm going to take a guess that Bertram's probably leading the way with his beautiful horse.
I would think so.
So it gets in amongst you. Barnabas sort of like, I would say he jogs up, but the horse does the jogging. He just kind of sits on it. He gets amongst you and he leans across and says, now then, sir, I've heard you are from a wonderful family. I can see from the cut of your face, your features. Why, there's nobility there, is there not?
Indeed, sir. Indeed, sir. You have a good eye. Yes. My family are very well known round these courts.
Wonderful. And what you I don't know if you're learned or not at all, but I've heard people telling me that there's strange giant creatures and worms and dragons and all sorts in these woods. And he starts to look around self-consciously. These are just tales, of course, are they not?
Of course. Put your faith in God and the saints, and all shall be well, sir.
Oh, good.
That said, tell us more about all of these tales about worms and creatures. That would be very interesting.
Well, I've heard that the animals grow to prodigious sizes, as large as a horse.
So this is rich land. It will be very good for further farming.
Yes. I think I'm supposed to take over the land. That's kind of what my Duke has told me. My uncle's very insistent on it. But perhaps I could press you, good fellows and lady. Perhaps you might support my claim and help me become the lord of the land. I could give you small domestic manors, I'm sure, and things like that to make it worth your while.
A land filled with giant beasts. Imagine a boar the size of a horse. Imagine the meat on that. Well, I'm sure we can. I'm sure we can. Well, there's no need. There's no need for us to. We're getting ahead of ourselves, aren't we, Bertram? We better see. We need to get to the land itself first and vanquish all these fell beasts, don't we? First.
Casper.
Why, we may meet our doom before we even have a chance to run this land.
The Casper turns to Sir Godfrey and is like, yes, and I imagine the grapevines will be as tall as the tower we ran up last night. Well, I ran up last night.
Oh, imagine that. I'm quite peckish and thirsty now, actually, Sir Casper. I don't know about you. Perhaps our squires have secured a little basket of stuff that we could avail ourselves of. Yes.
And so it is that you break for lunch. You find a nice clearing. Your tents and stuff are put up by the squires. And you're joined not long after by another knight and his entourage. He comes riding up, asking if he may join. He's got long flowing hair. He's got blackened clothing, and even his mails being either covered in pitch or tar or maybe lamp oil or something. But he's definitely got a look. And you can tell from his coat of arms that he's related in some way to Duke Randall, who is ostensibly the Lord of the Perilous Forest. He calls himself, well, some people call him King, but he calls himself Duke because he has no royal blood. But he's also known as the Duke of Danger as well. He's got a bit of a rep. So, Sir Arowine, whether you recognize him or not, he introduces himself quite in short order, leaps off his horse, comes swaggering up to you all, lets his hair flow in the wind. Says, "Ah, Brother Knights, well met. I see I have some competition for ruling this small bit of land here. You need not worry yourselves, my brothers. Leave it to me. I shall take care of everything. My family, of course, rule the Perilous Forest, so you don't need to worry yourselves. You can just return home."
Good day, Sir Arrowwine. Fantastic.
Perhaps I might impress upon you to leave me to it. I'd hate to have to defeat you in some kind of horrible challenges or things like that, or see you devoured by a giant badger or some other monstrosity.
Don't fancy a little bit of competition, Arrowwine?
Well, I don't mind it, actually. I'm just trying to do you a favour, that's all.
Oh, come on, the more the merrier.
Come, sir, there is land enough for all here, surely.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be a small amount of land for you, maybe, I don't know, 6 feet deep.
Bit of a bad boy,
That's funny. That's a good joke, Alvan.
Indeed.
Well, he continues needling you and making funny remarks or jokes that he finds funny and his squire, of course, finds hilarious.
I just say, well, watch out for our boy Barnabas. He's absolutely fearsome.
It's always the quiet ones, isn't it? Mm-hmm. What? Eh? And so, with after you finish your repast and other such banter that you have with other knights that may have around, as a group, now like a small army, it seems almost, you push further into the woods themselves, and it becomes very arboreal. It is verdant, lush, green, thick forest. Soon, the sun that was beating down on you is in one way, it's now cool because the canopy's knitted itself together above you, and it's all gone quite dark. So there's the coolness, but it does feel quite foreboding. There are strange sounds. You hear a snap of branches or a hoot or a howl, and every time you look this way and that, there's nothing to be seen, but there's the kind of movement of trees or ferns or bushes, and it all seems quite close all of a sudden.
I would love to go like in front of the group because I'm very, very curious to see the giant badger or squirrel or boar or whatever there is in this wonderful woods to see. I'm very eager to be the first to start it.
Sure. Do you want to make a hunting roll for me, please?
Love to make a hunting. Oh, I'm not that good at hunting. It's a critical. It's a 9 out of 9. I see a badger. Or, I don't know, or a badger sees me.
Or something of that nature, yes. Well, what actually happens is you see at one point, just idly looking up, a giant pine marten. If you imagine a stoat or a ferret or some of the like long rodent-like creature like that, and it's in the trees waiting to pounce in ambush. It is longer than your horse. It's got a sinuous, sleek, furry body and teeth like swords. And you just see its beady eye waiting. And, you know, you were a few steps away, or the horse was a few steps away of getting within range of it, diving down and devouring you potentially. But with your critical success, you immediately spot it and the huge size of it. Bertram Jaface is immediately at your elbow, pulling at you, saying, my lord, it's huge. Look at the size of it. It's going to devour us all. Perhaps we should go back. Perhaps they were right.
Gervais, everything will be well. It's all right. Stay back. Stay back. Don't worry.
Of course, sir. Oh, I'm just worried about you.
I shall be fine. Don't worry. All these fine knights around me, and I have my sword and I have my lance. I'm sure we can come to no harm, sir.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. And he's still shaking a little bit, but pulls back. Godfrey, Matthew is immediately by us. He's got his bow out. So I can take it, sir. I can shoot it from here, right through the eye. Just give me one good shot.
Have you seen the size of it, Matthew? I don't like...
Huge it is.
Yeah, it's not just very close. That thing's quite a way away. Look how big it is.
Imagine how many clogs we'll make out of all that fur. Oh, I'll get it right through the eye. I mean, what the kill it in one?
We're not, Matthew, caution, we're not in the Perilous Forest for haberdashery reasons. Oh. We're here to survive. Sometimes the most valorous route is to avoid the beasts of the forest like this and not directly engage. But what if you did not kill it in one and it charged and gobbled up poor Gervais or one of the other squires?
Oh,
How would you feel then?
Yeah, I mean, if Gervais is gone, who's going to darn my socks?
Yes, exactly. Yes, yes.
Well, so
No.
Casper says, Paul, prepare the poultices and the bandages. Have at thee! And he goes to stab this giant pine marten.
Amazing.
He's valorous.
Of course. Yes, you can rush forward. Debavanka, you were like aware as well. So if you want to join in, you can do, or you can just leave.
Of course. With my big war hammer.
Amazing. It's hammer time. Love it. Let's go. Okay. So for the first round, I'll just do the pair review because I think that's probably everybody else is still evaluating the situation and that sort of thing.
I think I've got my back to the pine marten and I'm holding forth to my squire about how ill-advised it would be to charge into it now and attack it.
Sounds about right.
Half of our party have already just made the decision.
And if you were a pine marten looking for the biggest, juiciest of all the knights,
yeah,
covered in gravy, and
how many human skin pelts I could make out of this pine marten.
Feed all my young on this, all my pups. Amazing stuff. Okay. So it's essentially going to be an opposed roll. So the creature's quite quick. It's going to get 2 attacks, so it can attack each of you, and you can fight back using whichever skill it is you think is appropriate. So it'll be sword, hammer, whichever it is you do. If you want to make your rolls, I'll make my opposed rolls towards you. So I'll do it manually because it's easier for me. So I think, Ivanka, you were first. I've only got a 3. You got a 10. So you beat me, so you get to roll your damage against the pine marten.
There you go. It is still a success, and I have 23 damage.
That's quite a lot.
Hammer goes bonk.
Exactly so. And Camille, do you want to roll for Casper as well at the same time? Because it's a tricky, fast creature.
It's this giant pine sword.
I get a 3 again, bizarrely.
Oh, critical.
Ooh.
Okie dokie. So again, you can press the button down the bottom to make the damage happen, I think. Sorry.
Okay, that's another 14 damage.
So that's another 23 for both of you. Okay, so the good news is for the home team, that kills the creature. Do you want to, between you, describe how it meets its end?
Since we did an equal amount of damage, like it's exactly 23 and 23, I have a feeling that Sir Casper might have actually cut it in two, in halves.
I think so, yeah. I think your bonk incapacitated it, and then I just like slice up. I just thud like the 2 halves. Thud onto the ground.
Exactly so. And from Sir Arrowine, there's a polite golf clap, to which other people immediately start joining in. Your face is still looking around the place in case there's more pine martens or other things that might be around. But you're relieved to find in short order that there's not. Or if there were, they've seen what's happened and made a quick exit. And so it is that Godfrey can finish his speech after he's fuming because he could have taken it out. He's swearing at it. He's like, I could have got it. But as it is, you're successful. You have a huge amount of meat and fur that you can divvy up, or the squires can for you, and you can continue about your way quite happily and unmolested. So good start. I'm sure this will be how things go for the rest of the as well. Well done, everybody.
I think for the rest of adventure, we will hear from Matthew. It is how much better might have been the arrow into the eye compared to the hammer and the sword.
Are we going to mount this head now on someone's wall with a big smack? Like,
I think we did admirably, Dame Ivanka. Look at all these pelts.
Yes, I agree. Very exciting.
Indeed, it would make a fine winter cloak.
And so it is that the afternoon passes in a jolly fashion, even though you're in the forest, Perilous. And at a point to the north of the river, you eventually come across what was probably once a Mott and Bailey castle. You can only tell that because there's fewer trees and there's a bit of a hill. It's probably the indication that it was once that. But it's now still quite forested. But there is a community here. You can see the trails of smoke coming up from fires. You can see that what looked like some tightly packed trees is actually like a log, mainly log kind of wall or fencing in some way. There's a gate of sorts. and you, your entourage, all can head in. There's indeed a thriving community. A lot of odd-looking people, perhaps. Their clothes seem maybe old-fashioned or particularly made of animal skins and things like that, and not so much woven cloth. But nevertheless, there is a community here. There doesn't seem to be, however, as you would normally expect, some kind of lord or knights around, or particularly men-at-arms in uniform. There are people with spears or other weapons. Looks a bit feral, I guess is the shorthand way of saying it as you enter in. Immediately, Arrowwines sprints out with his horse, saying, "Don't worry, I'm here. Your lord has returned." Behind him quietly, Barnabas is saying, "Actually, I think you'll find I'm in charge." And the squires are immediately rushing around to see what's there. They can't find any stable boys. They're trying to keep all the horses in, together. As some of the locals are running up, going like, "Oh, what's this?" They're trying to grab at the livery or the bits, nice leather saddles and things that they might not have seen, or metal armor, which they seem to find exciting. What is it you do amongst this, just gamut of people? There's animals everywhere. There's all kinds of shenanigans going on. And it all seems a bit out of control and wild, frankly, compared to what you used to, and certainly compared to the urbane city of Legion.
I think if Sir Arwan's going ahead, I think I will try and speak with his. I'll say, quaint people, thank you in advance for your generous hospitality. We merely are travellers in the Perilous Forest, come to seek news. What strange things have befallen you? We saw a huge pine marten sea. Look at its head cleft in twain by our mighty warriors. What other strange beasts do you have here? What goes on here to try and win their trust a little?
Sure. Do you want to make an honest roll for me to see how nice and trustworthy you seem?
I was going for courtesy, but it's the same value, so it doesn't really
brought us along.
I am pretty honest. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm pretty honest. You've got a nice jolly face and seem to have a good demeanour. Everybody's like, yeah. So there's a couple that approach you, Jaunt and Tidfil. They give their names as, and their little daughter Glesney, who's rushing round and hiding under the horses and messing with the buckles and stuff, which the squires are trying to shoo her away from. But Jaunt and Tidfil seem to be spokespeople of sort, or at least they're the ones that get pushed forward. They say, "No, good to meet you, sir. There's all kinds of creatures here. Why, stay within the walls, especially with those fine horses. Looks to be good eating on those. He licks his lips a little bit. Oh, look at that lovely grey one. Oh, that looks delicious. Yes, no, all the animals of the forest around here have huge size. You have to be very careful. We know how to hunt them. But sorry. No, God, I'm just glad. I'm glad you're here. We used to have the other knights protected us, but they've gone, and now we were waiting someone to come. And it seems there's many of you. I'm not sure who's in charge. And he starts casting his eye about which one of you might claim to be.
So the previous ones are gone, are they? And I'm casting a glance at Sir Arwine.
Yes, the strange ones with the translucent skill and the butterfly wings. They've left us now.
What? Say what?
Well, were they from Europe somewhere? What's this?
They said they'd tired of us. They looked after us, they said, for a long time, but it's not felt that long.
Sounds like Saxon witchery to me.
Sounds like Saxons.
Saxon witchery. Yes.
Someone say Saxons. Well,
yes.
Well, over there he says, and you notice through the throng of people that are around, there is an encampment within the bounds of the Motte and Bailey, and you see a huge bear of a Saxon with a war band, you would say, in other circumstances, but they're not being very warlike. They just kind of sat around a fire. Yes, they say they're in charge now.
Oh, not the bloody Saxons.
But then you've come, so perhaps we should have some. What do you think? And Tidfil say, "Oh yes, we should have trials to see who's best. That's what we should do."
Obviously, we are better than Saxons.
Any true knight can beat a Saxon, sir.
Hardly be a competition.
Well, I don't claim to know of knightly things, or indeed whether Saxons are better than whatever it is that you are. But yes, we've agreed. that we should look after our people, and the best should rule us. That's what we decided.
That's very reasonable. Let's get rid of the
Intriguing.
Saxons, and then we may continue.
Yes, perhaps a trial of poetry or courtly dancing would be good to deal with
Or
these Saxons.
singing-
This is what you're
singing.
missing. Or singing, yes.
I do love a song.
Yes.
Well, perhaps there's some, all manner of, that's a very good idea. Let's have all manner of challenges and things. Of course, we've got our local boy, Howell. He might rule us, he says. And you can see there's a kind of guy with like floppy sandy hair wearing some ill-fitting chainmail, which they've obviously found from somewhere, but it's not very well maintained. It's got a very rusty colour to it for the reason that it's quite rusty. But he's, it looks like he's wearing his dad's suit almost in the way he's armed and armoured. But he's kind of shuffling about in the background as well. And Tidfield says, "Oh, well, very well then. Yes, let's see who could be the new knights who rule us. Yes, let's have that. We'll perhaps have a little rest from your journey, and then we shall begin the trials." Okay.
True knights do not need any rest before the new fight. We're ready for the challenge, aren't we?
No, I think a rest would be well earned. And I hear something in my imagination about giant grapevines. Beautiful, ever-flowing wine.
Godfrey's already wandered off towards a campfire.
Is this something that happens around these parts? Giant goblets of wine?
Well, and as you're thinking that, Casper, you see someone walking past with two grapes like watermelons under his arm.
Truly a blessed land.
Yeah.
Oh, my holy lady. He follows the giant grapes.
Okay. One devil's down. I'll assume that you spend some time doing things, indulging in your particular vices or anything like that. Is there anything other than just relaxing and enjoying yourselves you wish to do? Or are you happy to wait until maybe a little bit later and this whole challenge for the land thing begins?
I'd love to antagonize and demoralize Saxons. Would anyone like to join me? Gang up on them.
Well, Sir Bertram is going to perform some acts of charity because he is a very generous man and it's part of his knightly code of honour. So I think all these sort of feral-looking locals who were kind of trying to poke at the livery and sort of fiddle with the buckles and things, whoever's the most kind of poor and thin and malnourished looking, he'll sort of quietly give them a heel of bread and he'll signal to Gervais for a purse of coins and he'll give out a few coins, although he'll probably start with giving food because what are they going to actually spend money on here in the forest? He doesn't think there's many travelling peddlers probably come through here, so he'll give food until it's run out and then he'll start giving coins. Maybe they can use them as fishing weights or something like that, or
Maybe.
jewellery. Who knows?
I think what I'm going to ask for you actually is a squire roll because Gervais is going to have to kind of manage it and not give everything away or make sure that the buckles that cinch your saddle and stuff don't go missing and things like that. So how you make a squire roll is roll the squire's age or less. So I'm not sure on the character sheet there's a button for that.
Yeah, there's a little button by the squire.
Yeah, there is.
Yes. Now, Gervais is 15. Let's roll that. I have rolled a 1 with a threshold of 15, and that says success.
That's all good then. Yeah. So exactly as you described, you start to give out what trinkets you can think might be of some use other than as shiny things, and what food you've got. You've got like a ton of like pine marten meat as well, of course, which you can sort of distribute. So that keeps a lot of people happy. And the crowd are definitely warming to you. And intrigued by your specially grey dappled horse, which doesn't seem like to be part of these parts. We've not seen one that colour before.
Yes, he strokes Santiago's neck and says, "Easy, easy, everything will be fine."
Santiago snarls derisively at this unwashed people around him.
He's used to a better class of stable hand, this horse.
Absolutely. So while you're making nice with everybody, Casper's wandering over to the Saxon encampment, where Siegbright, the largest and most aggressive looking of the Saxons, has stood up huge bear of a man. Scratches at his
Saxon, eh?
beard.
Terrible life choice. A
Well,
godly Christian such as I.
the choice is life, little person. You have chosen death by being born to the wrong religion. Christians. Perhaps I can nail you to a cross, and then you will go to your special place.
Yes, that would be a very pious and godly way to go. I
Why
do
not
not
be-
fear death.
Do you not? Oh, good.
No, clearly you do.
Death awaits you, so I'm glad you do not fear it.
Maybe big of body, but it seems you're small of brain, sir.
But large of axe, he says, and gets a large cheer from his men who don't appear to appreciate the 5 points of humour.
As am I, large of sword, and nimble of horse.
Perhaps then we should test steel. I could eliminate one of my foes immediately here and save all this nonsense about challenges.
Yes, I feel that would be the valorous thing to do. I never back down.
Wonderful. And his men start to form a loose circle, or at least half a circle.
This is how
Everybody-
Sir Casper dies. I hate Saxons. I hate them. I got to fight them immediately.
Yeah. Paul's immediately like, "What, sir? What are you doing? Is huge."
I wonder if there's a cut back to Godfrey explaining to Matthew again, like, we don't have to just attack Saxons on sight, you see. Sometimes it's more prudent to. There was like a scream from behind him.
Die by my blade.
Whoa, Todd! Amazing. So we will have a little duel right now. Then I think that sounds like what's
Sick.
happened.
I'm so
yeah.
excited.
The whole village just turned out now. There's like fight. Everybody's like really excited. There's lots of pine martin on a stick being roasted over open fires, and some kind of fermented milk drinks being handed round, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so I'll give you the opportunity. I'll explain the rule to you in case you're unaware or have forgotten that you can inspire a passion if you wish to give yourself a
I
better
was
chance.
thinking about this actually, because this is very much inspired by my all-encompassing love for God, as well as my absolute.
Okay, so you can pick whichever of those. They both seem appropriate. So pick a passion and roll against it.
I guess my love of God is higher.
So, in the current rules, I'll let viewers know that would be a +5 to your skill. But because I am a generous river to my people, I'm going to go with the slightly older rules and give you a +10 to the skill of your choice, which might be dancing, or be, I don't know which skill it's going to be. Like, you can choose.
Dance this man to death.
Yep, I only got a 9, so you beat my roll, so that means you get to roll your damage. So again, you can just click the bottom box and it will do the attack roll and the damage for future reference, but you can hit it now and it should come up with a damage number as well.
Bottom box.
So the right-hand side of your character sheet, down the bottom where it's got attacks, there's 3 stripy boxes, or 2 stripy boxes rather, and the bottom of those 2 should have some attacks on them, like roll and sword and that.
Got it, okay.
And if you click the little D20 to the side of them, it'll do all of it, I think. The character sheets are slightly... Okay.
12 damage with...
Yeah. So, just to explain to my players as well as viewers, if you can see from that, when you practice that button, it does the attack roll and does the damage as well. So it's just easy. But yes, 12 damage is quite a weak strike for the Straxon. Hits him across his big, heavy furs, and he's kind of like looks down.
Oh, God.
And you takes a little bit to pull it back off his matted fur that he's got, and there's a bit of stickiness.
That didn't quite work, did it?
And there's quite a lot of laughter goes up. And, he has to start wiping tears from his eyes a little bit. He's like, "Oh, shall we go again, little man?"
At least I hit.
If that's what you call it. And he raises up his axe to hit you again.
Hey, let's go round 2.
I get a 16
no one's
this
even
time.
trying to stop me. They're just like, yeah, this is fine.
Yeah.
Fine, actually. Paul's just got the poultices ready, like...
Paul's unpacking his first aid kit.
Yeah, it's like...
He gets his
God's
needles
sake.
and silk thread. And...
Not again. I'm imagining I'm a bit like Zap Brannigan. Like, okay. Okay, so
I remember you get your plus 10 bonus when it asks you.
oh, I still get my 10.
Yeah, you'll get it for the scene, basically, or for this duel.
Nice. I rolled 17 under 20.
Beautiful. Yep, I rolled a 16 as described, so you've hit, so you get your damage.
Come on, Casper. Put some welly into it. $13.
Okay. I mean, you hit him, but there's no. You look to your blade for some
Owie.
blood, or maybe that he's wobbled.
Bloody.
How about the rest of you now? So there's been a bit of tension. There was quite a lot of excitement from the crowd that's going to fight. The Saxon doesn't seem to be doing a lot, and Casper's trying his best, but every time he does a flourish and then steps back, nothing seems to have happened. It's almost like everybody seems to be getting a little bit bored almost at this point. There's a lot of laughing from the Saxons. Do any of you guys do anything else, or do you just kind of like let it carry on? Or
I'm there in the circle with my hammer out already, but I really do not understand what's going on because I'm really all about hospitality, and I would try to follow the rules of the of our hosts. And they said that we have to rest first and then fight. But these people are fighting, and I want to fight too, but I do not want to break the hospitality rules. So I'm there torn, waiting for some sort of a signal of what would be right thing to do.
I think this might be a time when Godfrey finally realizes, when Matthew points out that there is a fight going on behind him, I think maybe I'll steal a glance to Sir Bertram, and then maybe we try a excellent duel. Excellent duel. It's a draw. It's a draw, isn't it? That's what we can say. We'll have to split the difference through some other trial.
Yes, I'll draw his blood.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I think Sir Bertram would follow Sir Godfrey's lead in this because it would be wise to save their energy for the real trial when it really starts. This is sort of a bit of showboating while we're supposed to be resting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's kind of...
Sir Casper, you look parched as well. I have a wineskin here that may relieve you, that may quench your thirst. Quickly, Matthew, quickly.
Come and show us those gigantic grapes that you found, Casper.
Yes.
I think I might have a use for one of them later.
Godfrey, do you want to make a narrate roll for me, please, for your fine speech that you did?
That was good. That's good. I accidentally chose a skill I was quite good at. That's good.
I don't know when that happens.
Yeah, not normally what happens.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so despite what maybe Casper and perhaps the Seabright think, everybody else seems to think this has just been a bit of showboating as described, and it's all been in good-natured fun. And for the Saxons, certainly, like it's taken all the fun out of it, frankly, that people aren't that bothered. Casper, are you allowing yourself to be seduced by the wineskin and large grapage that is on offer?
Yeah, I think
Yeah. Okay. So
I even have to roll for that.
no, that's fine. That's fine.
I'm very tired after my 2 stabs, you know?
That's right. Yeah. It's been a long day, don't forget, as well. This is
Yeah,
a lot of travel.
And, sliced up
a lot
a
of
giant
dust
pine
and
mine.
stuff on the road.
It's been a long day. Well, yes, my horse is rather tired. He could do it.
Yeah, that's right. That's the reason we're stopping. Wonderful stuff. Okay, no problem. Well, with that, you can eat and drink your fill, frankly. There is that sense, there's a slight sense of rivalry there. The Saxons are giving you the evil eyes, but it's Saxons and you all hate them anyway. So that's not to be sniffed at. You've got the local lad, you've got Arrowine prancing around the place, seeing as he should be in charge. And of course, we've got Barnabas, who seems to be seriously taking notes of the provisions and other things that might be available that he could take stock of for his new lands, should he be the leader of such. And pretty soon, the following morning, in fact, we'll head into all the challenges to see who is worthy of ruling these lands. But for now, we need to go and have our grapes as well and get our wineskins. It is rather hot and it's been a long day. So, dear viewers, we shall have a pause for a short break and we'll see you back here. See. Welcome back, everyone, in the first part of our Pendragon adventures. Our bold knights didn't cover themselves in glory during the City of Legions. However, as soon as they were out in the countryside, things got a lot better. They spotted an ambush, killed a huge giant beast, and impressed themselves upon the locals. Maybe had a little bit of banter with the Saxons as well, just to stir things up and make them spicy for the coming events. For as we rejoin the adventure, it's the following morning, and trials await the local people who've been spirited away from this world and just recently returned, have come up with all sorts of things they think would make good tests for our challenges to see who's best to rule them, as they seem to be bereft of the loss of their butterfly-winged knights and rulers who apparently, up until recently, were in charge. And so it is. You're all waking up again, camped out in your pavilions or such like that. For Casper, you hear that familiar cracking of the duck egg as Paul's created your wake-up potion, as he does every morning. Extra peppery this morning, sir, he says, as he grabs your nose so as you gasp for air, he pours down the raw egg and peppery concoction, which wakes you right up first thing.
Excellent, Paul. I'm awake.
As well you are. Godfrey's still snoring like a buzzsaw, the sides of his tent's flapping away with the noise. But Matthew's been out early and caught some game, which he's slowly cooking over the fire. I imagine, Bertram, you are seeing to your fine horse and giving it a good morning brush down, that sort of thing, or joining in with probably Squire's work, but not for Santiago. You don't let the boys touch that. That's purely your domain, of course. And for Dame Ivanka, you've got Dominic, who's busy complaining to you about the state of the place, how disorderly it is. Honestly, lady, I don't think we should take control of this place. There's far too much to do. We're better off leaving it to someone else.
Yeah, that sounds very wise. That then we can back up one of the good friends and then continue our travels and adventures a little bit longer.
Oh, travel and
it's
adventures.
Too early to settle down.
Yeah, and he seems to realize what he's done to himself and look a little bit dispirited. Do you all gather in what was probably a village square or something at one point around the outskirts of the barrier of the big log fence that you've got? The attendant village is hard to tell because everything's so overgrown. But Dewitt steps forward as the leader of the locals and speaks in a nice clear voice in the morning. Well, my friends who are assembled, we're going to get new rulers, and there's a general buzz of excitement. There's, of course, someone who should rule us should know of our heritage and knowledge, or speak thereof. Anyone taking stewardship of this area must know the previous knights or the history of the place, of course. Let's see what people can tell us. And the NPCs immediately leap in to give you an idea of what you're going to have to do shortly. Skills you might want to consider or look at your character sheets perhaps are things like heraldry or recognize, to let's talk to them, or maybe intrigued to find out what local if bits of information there may have been. But Arrowine, first of all, our lovely Timothy-haired knight steps forward. He's in his fine garb, and he talks of his family. He talks of the Duke of Danger and the great land they come from, and how they've just stewarded the land and let people to their own devices. And isn't there always plenty to do here and fun things? And obviously I should be in charge. And that there's just a slight note of entitlement that comes into his speech, which takes the edge off it for people a bit, but initially seemed quite well received. Siegbright shoved him out the way, the huge Saxon, having stitched up and darned the front of his tunic from the slight nicks that were given by Casper the previous day. He offers a challenge, as I don't care who's in charge here. I am the biggest and strongest, and that's who should run. Who will stand before me? And although not a great speech, nobody does stand before him. In fact, if anyone did think of it, they saw what happened with Casper, and now people are really disinclined to stand up to him. He's impervious to swords, they say, and the whispers go round about how he has some strange Saxon magic that makes him invulnerable to blades or something like that. So while not the best speech, he's certainly quieted a lot of dissent. Hool, the local lad, steps up, says, now you all know me, and you knew my father, and they all start nodding. Then everything goes in a kind of sepia tone as he starts to tell tales of his father and his father's father. And you remember, Jack, when the otter came from the root and starts to tell all these stories and super boring to the rest of you. but you can tell that amongst the crowd, they're all getting the scorecards out. It's like high marks all around for this very moving tale as he kind of like sits back down in his ill-fitting armor again. And finally, before the batons pass to you guys, Barnabas from the Duke of Chester steps up, and he starts to tell a story of the Romans and their strange ways. And the crowd look a little bit confused, and what's this got to do with us? But he cunningly weaves it with his oratory and other skills that he's learned in the city, and talk about how strange people from strange lands can integrate, and you get the both from best worlds when diverse peoples come together, and you can make strength from that. And there's quite a lot of nods and approval. He seems to have done quite well for himself, despite not being, well, perhaps looking like a little bit of a fish out of water in these environs. And then the talking stick is passed round to one of you. So who amongst you, if any, wish to step forward and try and make a case for what you know about the heritage and knowledge of the lands?
I am very tempted to argue to use folklore for my speech.
Okay.
As Ivanka is very well traveled and she's very open minded, so she's like a treasury of random facts and stories. She does not know much about this particular place, but she knows enough to sort of weave it into the general story and telling like bits and pieces of different places and telling how things can turn to better here.
Sounds great. Do you want to make a folklore roll?
Yes, and it is a success. Thank you very much.
A success it is. Excellent. I'm going to make a secret note with my special system I've devised just for this scenario. But it seems better than average received. You perhaps don't hit the heights of Hull with all these local knowledge and stuff like that. But definitely, people seem to appreciate what you've done. Barnabas kind of gives you a bit of side eyes. You seem to have like copied his idea with the integration thing. But he's
That's
not
a good
the kind
idea.
of he's not the kind of person to hold a really mean grudge about anything. He's just a little bit disappointed. How about the rest of you? Anybody else want to step forward?
Yeah, I will. Because I'm, without breaking the fourth wall too much, I'm a Pendragon character. So I've spent several hours rolling on the family history table to work out where my grandfather fought and where my father fought and how his knight and stuff. It doesn't seem to be on the character sheet, so rather than do that now on stream, we'll just assume that I've got a noble,
You've done it.
like a lengthy, detailed history behind me that I've already rolled up at some point. And I will attempt to tell this in the most noble and entertaining way possible. Potentially using, is it recognize that history thing or orate? I don't know.
I think because you're disconnected from them, like it's going to be recognized to try and like weave in with people they might have seen before or heard of or that kind of thing. So I think,
battles
recognized.
they might have known people who died at and stuff.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, there were lots of Saxons at some of these battles, so
That's
Saxons might know these people. Yeah. That's a fumble. So no.
Oh, okay.
There were lots of Saxons in these battles.
We'll give you the minimum score there for that one. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you're entirely accurate. It just means nothing to these people. And the more you keep talking about battles, the less inclined they are to have you in charge because they're quite like their quiet life without battle. These kind of that. Yeah. You realize after a while that if this was perhaps a court or something like that, you'd be doing really well. But in the boonies where you are here, it's just not playing.
I think Sir Bertram is going to do something quite similar in terms of the recognized skill, but he's going to talk about. He's going to start off his speech, and it almost sounds like he's paying tribute to everybody else here, not necessarily his friends, but all the others, the locals, and if he knows any kind of family connections or anything, and he'll talk about. Yes, your valorous great uncle, once twice removed's cousin, Sir Leocred, or whatever, and say something wonderful about him, but then maybe just sort of bring it down. But of course, that's not as valorous as the actions of my friends and I here. We are true knights, and we are born to rule this land. For we are cultured, and we follow the one true God. And just sort of, be nice on the one hand, but then flip it round a little bit. I think
Just,
that's what he's going to try and do.
Yeah, risky strategy. It could go sour, but let's
Could
see what
go
the
a
dice
bit.
say.
But he is nothing if not self-confident.
Sure.
So let's see. So that would be recognize.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Ooh, that is a 13 against a threshold of 18. So that's a success.
It is indeed. And I will give you a moderate score for that.
Thank you.
It's reasonably well received, but again, because you keep bringing it back to yourself as just a little note of...
Oh, he's off again.
But you definitely done a lot better than Godfrey, lifted the mood around the encampment once more. And last but not least, Sir Casper, are you taking part?
They sound like fairies. You know who sung in my ear once? Fairy. So I think try to sing the song that the fairies sung.
So it's a bold strategy, but it might just work.
No. I remember 12. I just go,
Okay.
Oh, I can't remember it.
It's not the worst. It's kind of like, as the World Cup's on at the time of recording, I will suggest it's like the teams that try and sing their own national anthem but can't quite remember the words. So you get some of them right, but like some you kind of... There's a bit of homonyms and stuff and to get through it. So yeah, not the worst, but...
Catch my drift, yes? Yes?
Yeah, people appreciate the effort, at least, that you're trying to join in, which is the main thing. Whether you should be leader or not, I don't know. But yeah, you've not offended anyone, so that's the good thing.
The Casper, that's a good.
Indeed. And with that segment locked away, you notice like little coloured stones being put in bags and stuff as the various people kind of vote on who the favourite is and that sort of thing. And maybe bets are taking place for different shiny belt buckles or things that they've stolen off your horses or other things that you may not have noticed as treasures are shared around. But so far, it all seems in good spirits. And then the spokesman steps forward again to say, we are, of course, a happy people. We're insular, maybe, but entertaining and making the most of our lot here amongst the dangers of the Perilous Forest are what keeps us going. Perhaps you could sing, dance, or play instruments for us, or compose us a witty song, something like this. And again, the other knights rush to step forward as you consider your knees. Arrowine has a perfectly crafted song, beautiful, and it's performed passing well. It's new to the crowd, so they kind of like it, but it's like it's when a band plays the new album kind of thing, and they're all a bit kind of like, yeah, but I need to get used to it first. So it doesn't do too badly. Siegbright, the Saxon, is more volume than skill, but is nevertheless impassioned and manly. So again, there's a bit of, they notice that the beast of the forest stepped further away from the encampment as he lets go full rip and think, okay, well, I'm not sure how entertaining it is, but it'll keep us safe, is the general thought that goes round. Howard, the local lad, sings an old favourite. It's unfamiliar to all of you, but it's pleasing to the locals, and everybody starts joining in and singing along. So he's definitely done well again as these coloured stones start to pass around. And finally, Barnabas performs something modestly in Latin, which unfortunately just serves to confuse the locals. Certainly Bertram, with his literacy and stuff, notes the witty pentameter and other things that he's doing, and the amusing Latin play on words. But like, you notice everybody around is like, "What is he talking gibberish? What's going on?" And you feel he may have lost the crowd a little bit.
Bravo, sir! More! Yes, wonderful.
He was looking a little bit dejected, but you lift him up a bit. He feels a bit better about it. And then, of course,
Dance.
Voice.
I can't reach them through my voice. I will reach them through my feet. Oh, yes. I rolled a 4 and a 6.
Amazing.
It is resplendent.
It's great. Yeah, they've never seen anything like it. You get quite a lot of the young kids are trying to like follow along and work out what you're doing, and some of the girls are twirling about.
That's it. Put your foot to the left, foot to the right, arms in the air, wibble, wibble, wibble.
There's a lot of this going on. Yeah.
Jazz hands.
Oh, wonderful! Yeah, very well received, Casper. Yeah, lots of applause and cheer for that. And yes, the Tidfield says, "Oh, this is what we're talking about. Not that stupid gibberish." The other guy was, "Not this. This is entertainment. This is what we're here for." They all look with renewed expectation upon the rest of you to provide something equally exciting.
I might tell a story. And what story it does depends on what the intrigue skill means. Because I wonder if I could tell a story of our travels on the road that gently mocks our competitors to be rulers of here. So, I mean, on our way, of course, Barnabas and Arrowine were traveling with us. So I'll maybe tell the story of fighting the Pine Martyr, making a lot of how they didn't do anything, but in a more witty way. And obviously,
Sure.
I can poke some fun at the Saxons as well, because they're easy to do that. I mean, in the One Ring, this would be a riddle check, wouldn't it? But is that intrigue? Is that orate? Or is that even better? Is that a skill that I'm actually not very good at, that I'll still have to roll?
I'm happy. Well, intrigue is generally about finding out secrets and things like that, and the gossip and stuff like that. So, or gently extricating information, that sort of stuff. So you could suggest that on your travels you've managed to pull out some dirty secrets from these people, or things that would be disadvantageous to them. So,
yes,
assuming you make an intrigue roll, of course.
Definitely. A few times I wasn't actually asleep while they were sharing their secrets. I was just resting my eyes, and my breathing goes like that normally anyway. After a heavy meal, it's not just snoring. We'll see if that works though. If I roll my intrigue. No, I was asleep, it turns out.
Turned around, he couldn't see the Pine Martin.
Yeah, my story of the Pine Martin fight is also wildly inaccurate, because I didn't actually witness any of it.
Yeah, you get a bit confused about how Matthew shot it through the eye, and they're all looking at this crushed skull of this Pine Martin.
Hammer print in the eye.
Very, very big arrow. Okay.
Very blunt arrow.
It's nevertheless an entertaining story, so it's not a complete loss. But yes, you don't feel like you've rushed yourself into the lead with that item.
Yeah.
How about Ivanka or Bertram?
Well, Ivanka is very tempted to go with the same skill again, if you allow, telling a story, but this time it does not have to be related, so it's even easier. And she goes, "Oh, let me tell you a story about a man who traveled the Great War, and then on his way back, he got lost and had many adventures coming back to his home and loving wife and waiting children." Would I try? Is it too much?
I'll let you. I think because it's samey though, I'm going to give you -5 to your skill if you.
That works.
If you're happy with
that. Do I put -5 as a modifier?
Yes, that's right.
Just by 1.
It would have been a success, but as you end up using some of the same elements that you've used before when you were talking about the
I got carried away.
Yeah. It's just not different and fresh enough to be entertaining. It was fun the first time round, but the second time, people are starting to get a little bit glassy. But it's not a disaster. It's just not very, very high level. Okay. And Bertram, do you have something to add?
Well, Bertram is experiencing a very, very rare moment of self-doubt. This is very new to him. He never usually feels like this, because he has a very narrow field of interest, really. He can't sing, he can't dance, he can't compose poetry. He's got no real sort of creative skills whatsoever. So, in desperation, he looks down at his family sigil, his family coat of arms, which is on his surcoat, and he thinks, well, I can talk about this. I can talk about fashion. This is me looking at my character sheet and grasping at straws, because he's got like dancing 2 and singing 2, and he's got fashion 6. So he's going to talk about how wonderful the workmanship of this wonderful knightly surcoat is, and the imagery of his family coat of arms and what it means. And then he'll move on to talking about his friend's coat of arms as well, and the symbolism there and how it speaks of their knightly valor and their long pedigree, their long bloodline. And he's really just making it up as he goes along because he
Sounds like
has
it a lot.
no clue when he's asked to do anything arty whatsoever.
Well, I'm going to go a bit meta now, which
Okay.
maybe guidance my point. Unknown to you, perhaps, because this is your first time playing, but that particular character has the squire Gervais, who I always say is like excellent at fashion and needlework and loves making Sir Bertram look the best he can. So
That's why I keep him on, really.
yeah, while Bertram's doing all that, Gervais is doing a busy fashion parade behind and pulling out all kinds of great stuff that he's done and then mending together banners that you've achieved and all these kinds of things and basically doing a bit of Chantal. So I'm going to give you a +5 to your roll because I think your square helps you out in this particular topic.
Brilliant. We're having a little bit of a fashion show here. So that's modifier. Just do I need to put a plus sign
put a 5,
as well?
I think, and it'll
Just put a
work.
5. Okay. Here goes nothing. It's a failure of 13.
So again, it's not a disaster, but
terrible.
Yeah, you all do eventually get, despite Gervais's best efforts and your excellent delivery, you realise that everybody dressed in animal furs and badly tanned hides and stuff. This is not landing the way you hope it might.
This came from along the Silk Road. This is straight from China.
They're not ready for these threads yet. These people.
It's a difficult audience, Gervais. Very difficult. Don't
Yes,
worry. I appreciate you.
The hours I've spent, my hands were bleeding, and he gets quite upset about it all.
Oh, bless him.
Nevertheless, you break for lunch, which is a nice bit of animal that someone's caught for you. And not wine, but the fermented milk, no doubt, still goes down Casper's throat all the same.
Glug, glug, glug.
Quite a piquant. And you are informed as you get yourselves together that the task for the afternoon is to go and fetch a creature from the forests. So you can all go your separate ways and do something for that. I'll just kind of like, although you will not be there, I'll do a kind of camera pan that as all you're off hunting and everybody else is gone, the others are coming back one by one with their particular catches. So for everybody's benefit viewing, they can see that Arrowwine returns and he's managed to hook an elaborate peacock. The effect only slightly spoiled by the blood-discoloured feathers and the way his huge hawk has had to take it down. But nevertheless, a spectacular creature, and some might say almost butterfly-like wings, which has resonance with everyone. So he does quite well. Siegbright sees staggering out of the forest later on, returning with a mighty heart, a huge deer. The kill is messy, the blood staining his furs, but no one's ever seen an animal so big, even in this forest. So he's also well received. Huel is noted by the cameras for you're off doing whatever it is you're doing. Can't bring himself to kill anything in the forest, has come back with a kitten to appeal to the tender ladies and children. But no one seems particularly impressed apart from the small children. He thought he was being clever, but everybody just seems disappointed in him. And Barnabas, not suited to the wilds particularly, but he is a knight and well-trained and returned with a small boar, which is the kind of average you could hope for. So he's kept his oar in, so to speak, but not impressed any. Meanwhile, while this was going on, all of you were doing your own thing as well to try and fetch a creature from the forest. So would one of you like to lead off on what it is you did or what you may have hunted down?
I think we can go as a group now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could go as a group. I was wondering if I could approach Dame Ivanka, actually. Like, Dame Ivanka, I think we made a very good team yesterday to bring down that Pine Marten.
Yes, indeed.
How about we cross our sword and hammer once more?
That's a lovely idea. Let's do that.
Excellent. Godfrey, Bertram, what are your plans?
Well, it seems to me we have two options. Either we could all go separately or in twos and try and hunt down something medium size, but I'm rather worried about that deer that somebody brought back. I think
The damn
if we
Saxon.
Yes, we would all work together and show what a valiant band of knights could do. And we could try and hunt something spectacular.
I agree.
Yeah, Godfrey is just settling down for a nap as he was about to dispatch his squire Matthew off to hunt for him. But when he comes to, he says, "Oh yeah, an excellent idea. Yes, we should all travel together and hunt together. That's something huge."
Yes, and who knows what we'll find in this forest? Peacocks. What a strange thing to find in an English forest. It's I'm sure there's something even more elaborate.
We
And
might even
Gervais-
be able to capture it alive.
Ah, yes. Goodness.
We could even find the mythical giraffe.
A giraffe. Yes, a giraffe. Or what's that that one that looks like a giraffe, but it's actually a cat. A leopard. A leopard. A leopard giraffe thing, I think.
Yes,
Sure, I saw a
giraffe hybrid.
yes. Or one of those giant snails in the manuscripts, those illuminated manuscripts. A huge snail.
Yes.
I think they're figurative. Sir Bertram, I don't think they're actually a representation.
I
monk
take the
told me
Bible quite
once.
literally.
Of course, as we all do. Yes.
Yes. If there's a giant snail in the Bible, there's a giant snail in real life.
Yes.
Very
of course,
wise, Sir Bertram, very wise. And in this forest, who knows what we might find?
Maybe a faster snail. Because let's be honest, actually it would be quite easy to track down a snail.
A snail that runs like a horse.
Yes, a horse snail. What wonders we may find.
As you fight, and suddenly you realise you're in like the depths of the Perilous Forest.
Yeah,
no
we've been
idea
having
where
this
you are.
conversation.
What's going
Yeah.
Why has it gone dark? Okay, so one of you presumably is leading the way and trying to find tracks for something interesting and mysterious. So somebody needs to make a hunting roll for me to see how successful you are with that. Who shall it be?
I'm not great, not terrible in hunting, so
I'm awful. So
okay.
I've got 12, so again, not great, not terrible.
Yeah, Sir Godfrey's not a hunter. He has a squire for that.
Sir Bertram,
all right,
go for it.
Okay,
I would expect that you would take the lead as you usually do.
So as I usually
looking
do.
at you expectantly, show us the ways of giant snails.
Giant snail, giraffe, leopard thingies. Let's see. That was an 18 against 12, sadly.
Well,
that's
maybe just a normal snail.
Yes, the normal snail.
Something crunches under Santiago's hoof.
They were tiny people. That was what a normal snail. Turns out that's what it was.
In a very hard hat. Yeah.
So the good news is that you do, in fact, find the Nunnington snail. And you only come across it as all your horses suddenly come to more or less a stop. You almost like tip over the handlebars, if you get the my drift, like fly over the heads of yours as the horses suddenly just stop. As Santiago's trying to like lift his fore hoof up, there's this stringy, slimy substance and it's like sucked back down again. And you're all going to be forced to dismount. But that wasn't just where the snail's been, it's where it still is. As the trees burst apart, this huge snail the size of a house with two heads and a dripping maw with like this viscous stuff leaking out of it. Like it would lick at its lips if it had a tongue, but you get that kind of sucking sound as it's smacking its lips at the thought of devouring you all, armor and all. I'll just crush you and suck out the juicy bits. So you have to fight the Nunnington snail, the size of a house, hungry and voracious as it is.
And
So then, it's you failed your hunting, so you don't get a chance to prepare or anything like that. It's just upon you. If you wish to take another approach, then fighting back, you're perfectly welcome to do that if you think you wish to. Otherwise, it's going to try and eat two of you at a time because it has got two heads. So, what do you wish to do? Fight, flee, something else?
I think we've come all this way. We should fight.
I think we should fight.
Heft my sword as I clumsily dismount awkwardly from my...
I want to try to shatter its shell.
Sounds great. Casper, are you joining in as well?
Yeah. I'm going to try to slice one of the heads off.
Amazing stuff. Okay, then. So it gets 2 attacks. So 2 of you will be opposed, and 2 of you get 3 strikes. But I'm not going to tell you which 2. You all just roll your dice, and then I will roll my attacks and my d4s to see who it's fighting back against. Okay, right. So my best attack was against Bertram, and I rolled a 16. What did you get? Bertram only got 6. So unfortunately for you, this sucking mouth lands upon you and starts to crush. And you're going to take 21 damage.
21 damage. And how many hit points do I have? 25. Oh dear.
The good news is you'll get your armor for the first round. That's good news. Which should be on the character sheet somewhere. I've not got it in front of me. I'll rely on your fellow players to help me out with that.
Armor
Just in the
point
characteristic.
16.
Yeah. So you succeeded in your roll, so you do get to use your shield. So you get all of those 16 points. I did 21,
Okay.
so actually only 5 hit points come off your total.
Oh, that could be worse.
Yeah, so it's kind of grabbed you and it's starting to apply pressure, but so far you're keeping your elbows wide and managing not to get subsumed. The other person that attacked was Demi Vanka, and I rolled a 7, which is better than your 6. Well done, Snail. Very proud of you. That's just 19 damage. So again, you succeeded to get your armor.
Yeah. Just give me a minute and I'll
Okay,
take the hit
I'll
points
let
off.
you do the
You please
attacks.
continue. Yeah.
Sure thing. The good news for the others of you is that you get 3 strikes. However, I note that Casper failed, unfortunately. I imagine similar to we get flashbacks to the Saxon, you prodding the fleshy body of this thing, and it's just rubbery.
And I've been demoralized by that Saxon. Just
yeah, and unfortunately, Godfrey, you didn't realize with your low slug belt that your scabbard kind of got stuck in the gi behind you. When you reach for your sword, it's not there. Kind of like just sticking up in the slime.
Actually, Matthew, put the bow down, bring me my sword.
I can get it in the eyes. Okay, do you want to make a squire roll for me and see if Matthew can
get it in the eye
To be fair, he's been itching to do this all session. That's yeah. He does, of course, he succeeds.
Okay.
Yeah.
His shot goes slightly wide as he didn't get a chance to aim properly, and he curses at you, and then rushes and plucks your sword from the mire and hands it over. Okay, the next round, I'm going to do similar again. I'm just going to roll randomly. I assume you all fight in your particular ways. So I'll let you do your rolls again. So unfortunately, I think that's right. Yeah, sorry, Godfrey. Although you hit, I made a better roll, and he switches them out to you. That's 15, 21 damage.
Okay, I got my armor going to, so that's...
You do. And then he was also attacking Casper, but rolled too high, so missed. So all the rest of you get to apply your damage. So yes, Camille and Lydia, I need you to roll a damage roll for me for respective things. And I'll take... Ivanka missed as well. Okay.
9 damage.
Scrapes off the shell.
Embarrassing, honestly.
Yeah.
Paul, prepare a poultice. Go, please.
Paul's getting his therapy books out. Okay, and yes, happily Bertram does do some damage to this creature.
Kind of imagining the lance sort of sticking and then him having to really yank it back out with a sort of kind of noise.
And due to the rubbery skin, it almost like puckers back up again, so you can barely see where the point was. You think you've injured it a little bit, but it's not. It's not looking particularly worried yet. I don't know how you read the expressions of 2-headed snails, but it doesn't seem to be panicking. Let's put it that way. Okay, with that done, we've got a new round. I will remind, especially our new players, that if you wanted to, you could try and inspire something to give yourself a better skill. That might help you. You don't have to. There's always a risk. You may become melancholic. But if you wish to, now would be the time to try and inspire something before we roll dice again.
I was just about to do that, as I'm somewhat low on hit points, and I'm thinking about my amour interest, Lord Gale of Spondon, and how I keep telling him that one more adventure and then we can settle down. And the lovely estate he has, Dominic is fond of it too, because it's very well kept. So I'm trying to inspire myself with the thoughts of this lord and our potential happy life together.
Okay. It's a bit of a
I survive
stretch,
this.
but I'm feeling generous. I'll let you use it.
Okay.
Normally they'd have to be involved in some way. I don't think Lord Gale of Spondon deals with two-headed snails. But due to my great
No, but
generosity...
he would want me to come back alive, and this means I have to succeed in this adventure.
Well,
Not
given the role,
die.
it turns out he does, yes. I mean, it may be the amour's one way, but it turns out, yes. Okay, you've inspired yourself successfully. Is anybody else inspiring a passion, or did we go to dice roll?
I think Bertram probably would. I'm going to say he's going to call upon his passion for honor, because what an ignominious end it would be, eaten by a snail. Wouldn't that be
Sounds
terrible?
perfect.
I mean, they would just mock his name in the ballads and the songs forever, particularly because, he was leading this hunting party and, it was his horse that squashed the normal snail in the first place. So he's got something to live up to now.
Perfect.
So how do I do that? I just click on the honor?
Sure, I think there should be a little dice symbol next to your honor.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go with that.
Yeah,
Aha.
success.
Success.
So you can again add +10 to the
His
skill of
ego
riches.
will actually save us all in the end.
Yeah. Excellent. How about Casper or Godfrey? Are you happy just to roll, or are you inspiring something?
Well, there's no way I'm going to let us potentially lose the Saxons here. I'm going to inspire my hatred of Saxons, particularly the ignominious. We've already come out worse to them, and this is our one chance to show that we can actually fight. Or is it?
Or indeed.
It is. I critically hate Saxons.
Nice.
Nice. I'm going to allow you +20 to your skill for this particular map.
Won't do any good, but yeah.
Man after my own heart, Godfrey.
Yeah.
Yes. I think Sir Casper is going to evoke his loyalty to his lord. Earl Henry, I will defeat this evil two-headed snail. I will bring back a shard of its shell as an artifact for my Earl's treasury.
Sounds wonderful.
He shall be so proud of me.
Or will he?
Will.
Imagine a shield made out of this giant snail.
Okay, I rolled a 9 under 18.
Excellent stuff. So you are
Earl Henry's
all
into it.
inspired. Yeah, I'd love that. It's right down his alley. Excellent stuff. Okay, so we'll have another round.
Snails?
He's all for his nights going out and killing monsters, so he lands a safe out. Well over that. Okay, do you all want to roll your respective things? Remember, you've got your +10s or +20s in Godfrey's case. I'll roll my attacks back, and we'll see if this is enough to defeat the Nunnington snail. It's looking good. It's looking very good because I've not rolled better than anybody, so you all get to do your things. So, yeah, you can all roll your damage, basically, if you've not already. I think everybody has, apart from perhaps Bertram needs to re-roll. And I don't think it's done the critical damage, has it?
Yeah. So just no critical as well.
So I think on the character sheet...
Amazing 8 damage. Wow.
Amazing.
Do I need to roll it, or is that an automatic?
So on your attacks bit of your character sheet, in the first of the banded boxes, there'll be a critical damage button you can press for an extra 46.
Right, yes. Okay, 46. That's nice. 19.
Okay, looking good, looking good, looking good. Quick bit of maths. Okay, that is actually enough to knock the creature unconscious. Not quite sure how that happens. I guess it's leakage. People forgive my words for that, but enough of the goo is either punctured or squirted out or cut out, so that it starts to lose it starts to shrivel up and become the whole shell becomes heavy, even as part of it is sheared off, be taken back as a trophy for Earl Henry. And the thing lies defeated in a kind of squidgy lump around your feet where your horse's hooves. So hooray for that. We shall skip over, for the sake of brevity, how you get this giant snail back. I assume
That's the most fun part.
Gervais, pick up the
unless you
snail.
want to
the
go.
squires, surely.
We've got lots
Yeah.
of other horses that can carry it. Yeah.
I'll not make you make squire rolls on, because there's a good chance that might go wrong. Then we have to have a second episode of what happens next. So we will assume that you all get back. Okay. So there is great delight. It's a heavy meat-based diet they have around here, and that's because they can't get any farming going because of the voracious Nunnington snail that comes and devours all their plants whenever they try and get any farm. So everybody's delighted by what you've done, and I'm going to give you top marks across the board for this, even though you did it as not a group activity, but altogether. Still, their favourite foe has been removed. Okay, there is a brief feast and stuff like that, and you were informed that there's going to be a grand melee at the end, a big fight with teams to determine who should be the leader, which may cause some distress amongst you as you've just worked together to go this far, but you realise at the very last challenge, only one person, of course, can be the ruler of the land. Is it going to be one of you? Do you throw your weight behind others? I can tell you, based on the coloured stone scoring system that's been going on, as you send your squires to check on how many pebbles are in what bags and that sort of stuff, it is pretty even across the way. Sir Godfrey, bless him's probably the one that's out of contention at this point, but all of the others have done enough to keep themselves in contention, and certainly Bertram, Casper, and Ivanka as well have all done a decent job, and it would be, if they wanted to put themselves forward, have the chance of being the Lord of the Land or Lady of the Land in Ivanka's case. So what do you wish to do? You've got time to huddle, to talk amongst yourselves? Do you form one team? Do you back another person? Do you split up? How would you present yourselves?
You know what? I think I'm not ready to just settle yet and become a lady of the land. So I'm happy to back any of you, Sir Casper, Sir Bertram, or maybe Sir Barnabas, if none of you is interested in the title.
Yeah, at the suggestion that Sir Godfrey could have a bit of a rest and not have to fight in the melee on his own, he jumps at that chance and is happy to endorse. Similarly, I'm happy to endorse any of one of us, or maybe, like, Sir Barnabas seems a good egg as well, doesn't he? But obviously, Sir Bertram, you're quite brave, and Sir Casper, your sword arm is normally stronger than that. I know that. It's you've just sprained it, haven't you? That's what's
It's not
happened.
a bad day, yes.
Yeah. You just don't-
Paul's last poultice for my wrist was
you need a bit
awful.
more Frankish wine will help, I'm sure.
Yes, yes.
Blame the squires. That's like typical of you.
That's what they're there for.
Yeah.
Well, my friends, I can vow to you now that should you back me as Lord of the Land, you will always have a place at my hearth and always have a place at my table to share meat and to share mead, and you will always be welcome. So,
Sir Bertram, you did best me at that jousting. You did lead us
indeed, but it was well
in-
fought. It was
in the
well fought, sir.
slaying of uneaten snail. And I know that if you were to rule over this land, the wine would flow evermore.
It would indeed, Sir Casper. You are extremely right. But again, this was a group effort. It really was. And as much as I am invested in the pride of my house and the honor of my house, I know that if I'd fought that snail alone, I probably would not be here. And so again, I say we should back each other, all of us, but really it's probably better to back me.
So Bertram, I think none of us deserve more the task of as I glance around this sort of ruined land with people in like animal skins and stuff of rebuilding this fine place and bringing civilization to this castle in the middle of the forest, Perilous, surrounded by Saxons and knights that have wings that have gone away but might come back. I add to that the unending drudgery of just managing a household. None of us deserve it more than you, Sir Bertram. I think you would be ideal.
Absolutely. I am best with a glass of wine and a poultice on my head.
Yeah, we'll be happy to visit and feast in your honour when you've tidied it up a bit.
I think at this point there's rapturous applause from the squires who are taking your words very soon. Oh, yeah, of course.
I mean, he's the only one who believes that he can do it.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Say no more. My hammer is with you.
My sword.
My friends, I thank you. And he gives a very courtly bow.
Okay, wondrous stuff. It seems you have a team. That's wonderful. So a larger space has been cleared and other teams are assembling. There's Arrowine. He's got some supporters, some people he brought with him. He seems to, I guess this will be Godfrey would have spotted this with his intrigue, but he sent one of his men to go and wind up the Saxons and point in your direction. You feel like he's antagonized them, and there's a definite like eyeballing going on between Siegbright and Casper, as if there's
My
some
job. I'm
extra...
meant to antagonize them.
Yeah.
Go away, Aroline.
So these people went. So he looks from the way he set up his men that he'll try and hang back a little bit and see what happens. Siegbright, straight out the gate, comes charging in your general direction with murderous intent, as Saxons are wont to do, shouting out to Wotan and others. Huel, you noticed, has brought with him a variety of giant animals, including a badger and another pine marten and a stoat and various creatures. So he's not got many knights with him, but he's assembled a bunch of giant animals from nowhere, which perhaps to you, and certainly to the likes of Jafface and Paul, are like, what the devil is this? But everybody else seems to think this is perfectly normal and have you have mass battles. You obviously bring your best animals with you. And Barnabas has got his collection of bodyguards that his uncle sent with him, who get in a famous Roman-style tortoise shell and present lots of shields and hide in a little like block and hope that everything else sorts itself out and you can sweep up afterwards, perhaps. So it seems that Arrowine and Barnabas, for all intents and purposes, sit out the first part, and it is up to the group of you to face down the charge of the Saxons. Maybe that will be a telling blow, as the animals are like basically doing whatever they want because Hill's got no control over them. But they're a peril and a danger to your horses, I should point.
Before we begin, may I use my magical rock on me, as I only have 7 hit points left?
You can indeed use your magic rock.
Let me just quickly check how it works. Oh, it's All's Healing Rock, and I need to make a merciful roll.
Yeah, so you get 6 hit points back, and if you make a merciful roll, it's still magic. If you fail it, you've used all the magic up. That's how that particular special
I'm quite merciful.
Almost like I've given your character something that would be useful to them.
Oh no.
Yeah, unfortunately, only quite merciful and not very merciful. So yes, you get your 6 points of healing, and then the magic from the rock is gone. Whether you choose afterwards to go around telling people it's still magic and touching them with it, that's up to you.
Yes, of course I believe in my magic rock. It has never ever failed me before. So I'm hiding it back, and in case we need it in the future.
Could I sing a rousing song
Sure.
to my teammates to
course.
inspire them to valor and energy?
Will it be the same song?
Fairies, magic.
Whisper, ears.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to
I'm-
make your respective roll for that, please.
Dear. I'm so good at singing. Oh, I got a 6 on
Woo!
12.
Yay. A rousing song indeed. We know this one.
Wow.
Everybody knows this one. Yeah.
Yeah. Who doesn't know this one?
Bit like the sweet Caroline of its day.
That's right.
We're all doing like, so good, so good, so good.
So good.
means-
So good.
Hey. That means that friends that hear it get +3 to energetic and +3 to valor.
Oh, nice.
So
Wonderful
feel the
stuff.
valorous energy, everybody.
Excellent. That's good as it happens. Because the first thing I'm going to ask for everybody else as battle is joined is to make a valorous roll as the incredibly impressive Saxons are buried down with a war charge while giant animals try and savage your horses. So you must make your valorous roll to stay in the fight.
Yay.
Remember, you've got +3 to it now because of the amazing song. Looking good, looking good. Looking good.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody's nerve
Yes.
is steeled. Wonderful. So I'm not going to intend to do a full mass battle here or all the normal rules. You'll be glad to hear.
I failed.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I rolled a 19 over 18.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yeah, double
Oh,
better.
it was your song, though.
I know, I was too busy singing. I got distracted.
So I think you're probably valorous, but your horse is not. And so now you're busy trying to gain control of your mount as it's running as fast as it can away from a giant badger. You continue to sing around the place. Okay. Slight penalty then. So I'm going to ask, as I was saying, I'm not going to do the full battle rules here for the sake of brevity and the USP of our channel. We'll keep it short. But because I have a battle roll, so Bertram, please, to see how well you fare in this skirmish and if you are indeed likely to be the leader of the land.
Okay. Do I get anything more from that wonderful song, or is it just the skill on the page?
It's just a small page. You have got the opportunity to inspire yourself if you wanted to.
I think it's going to have to be hate. Yes, I think I'm going to inspire my own hate of Saxons, which is not as much as everybody else. I have a hate Saxons of 8, but, they're threatening my horse, my lovely, lovely, wonderful Santiago.
Santiago,
So,
of course.
I don't know. How dangerous is it? If I were to fail, I'm guessing that could go quite badly.
Yeah,
Maybe I should just...
If you fail, be melancholic and get -5 to all of your skills for the battle.
Ooh. No, I think I shall, in that case, redact that.
Yeah,
And
you don't hate
I
them
shall
that
just...
much.
Abort.
I don't hate them that much.
Yeah,
I love my horse more than I hate the Saxons.
sounds
So,
reasonable.
I'm just going to go
Priorities.
with that. Priorities, absolutely.
Love overcomes
Ah.
hate.
And that was a 5 against 15 for
Okay.
battle.
It's a success. Well, for my guys. Okay. The fight goes well against the Saxons, but especially with Casper struggling to maintain control of all his voice and the horse at the same time, which is quite tricky. It's like patting your head and rubbing your tummy. But you do quite well. The Saxons are afoot, and you're mounted, and you have your lance charge, of course. But you dispatch them or defeat them quite easily. But then find yourself trapped between Arowine and Barnabas. You think you could defeat one of them, but not both. So I will give you the opportunity. You could make a last-ditch attempt to really inspire your friends and try and pull victory from the jaws of defeat. Or if you wanted to, you could act as kingmaker and join for one side or the other and perhaps promote or join in the side of either Arowine or Barnabas and then make them the leader of the land in a very generous display and perhaps gain some favour for doing so. What would you think you would do?
Oh, that's a difficult choice, isn't it?
It can't be Arrowine, right?
No, it can't
Yeah,
be
please,
Arowine.
yeah.
It's got
No,
amazing hair, though.
yeah, it's true.
Nice
It's very
songs.
impressive hair. It's probably blowing very photogenically in the wind at this point as well. But Barnabas does seem, as was previously said, like a chap. He seems like a good egg, a good chap. But I think the pride, which is really Sir Bertram's defining characteristic on his character sheet, I don't think he would do the political thing and be the kingmaker, even though that would probably be the most sensible thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he's going to sort of look at this Saxon kebab that he's made on his lance and sort of shake it free and call for another lance from Gervais and draw his sword and sort of say, "For God and St. George!" and rush forward into the battle.
Excellent stuff. Okay, so people can imagine a battle happening, a whirling skirmish and all the rest of it. I think the key point, which is going to tip it, is whether you can take out one of the opposing champions with your lance. However, because they're well defended and have bodyguards and things like that, I'm going to give you a -5 to your roll. But if you want to make your charge roll or lance skill,
Mm-hmm.
a -5, and if you succeed, I will suggest you've unhorsed your main opponent and the other will kindly step aside. If you fail, though, it will go
Okay.
against you.
Right. Let's go. So -5.
Go, Sir Bertram. Yes!
A 2, even with a
I helped.
-5. Yes, you did. Yes, definitely.
Yes. So who do you chose to unhorse?
Oh, I think Arrowine, because I'm jealous of his hair.
Amazing. Yeah. Okay. We get a slow-mo shot of him falling backwards with the hair blowing out like a dandelion around him. So it's great for the camera and the drone shot above as he lands in the dust.
Think of
And
the wig you could make from his hair.
yeah.
Set off lovely with the pine marten. Yeah.
That's fresh.
Embroidery around
Snail
the collar.
shield, it's amazing.
Oh,
That
it's going to be
fashion is-
amazing.
yeah.
But Gervais has got his
Gervais has
sketchbook
got
out
his
and he's
hands.
kind of doing like lookbooks. It's kind of medieval Pinterest at this
Mhm,
point.
mhm.
He's like kind of doing a mood board.
Wonderful stuff. Well, with Arrowine defeated, his followers have no interest in taking part. And Barnabas, quite frankly, has no interest in the ladies either. And he's still sat in his turtle shell of followers. So he's happy to defer to you as you're busy holding out your hand for your next lance. And he's like, "Oh, no, that's all right. Thank you. Thank you. It's been very good show, everybody. We've all had a lovely day. Let's call it that." So he's happy to vacate the field and leave you. Yeah. So we shall wrap up with your victory. So what we normally do in these kind of adventures is do a little bit of a vignette for each character about what happens to them afterwards. It can be immediately afterwards. It can be an hour, a day, a week, a year, however long you think. I'm going to go around you all and say, given your victory, what happens to your character or what special scene you want to just finish on for them. I think we'll leave Bertram to last as the ultimate victor. If I have perhaps go around the others first. So Godfrey, what do we see of Godfrey in the aftermath of your good friend Sir Bertram being crowned the Duke of the Forest, or whatever you choose to call him?
Well, I think in this battle, there were all those giant animals that sadly not all of them made it. They were just running around and terrible. But I think Matthew's maybe managed to bag one of them. So we just see Bertram sat by the fire, chewing on a giant badger haunch that he's got there, with plenty more meat ready, some jerky hanging behind him. Quite happy with this new land. It'll be even better when Sir Bertram's like built some walls and a ceiling and stuff, and construction it, made it a bit more civilized. But for now, it's all right, really.
Lovely. I like to think we have a nice little bit of Matthew whistling away. He's fletching some new arrows and things.
Yeah.
Excellent. And what do we see of Sir Casper?
I think I'm going to latch on Godfrey scene. The camera pans to the left a little bit for Godfrey taking a hunk out of the big leg, and Sir Casper is out of his comically large goblet.
Amazing
all
stuff.
The giant grape wine, and he gets up and trips over and he says, Paul, bring the poultice.
Excellent. And we get a little cutscene of Paul, who's been handed a giant duck egg from the giant ducks that they have around here to make your hangover to the following morning. Well, Sky, we've got trouble getting this down. And so we cut across to Dame Ivanka. What do we see of your character?
I think I'm sitting around talking to people, gathering new amazing stories, trying to figure out who were these lords with the wings and what's going on with the forest, why these animals and plants are so big. And Meanwhile, I also lended Dominic's help to Sir Bertram because Dominic is really, really good and knowledgeable. I'm sure he will be delighted to not have to stay in here for as master, but to help someone else make a more estatey thing of these woods.
Yeah, I think we got a cutscene of Dominic, who's now created some kind of economy based on coloured pebbles, and busy so with his little stock market that he's got going on exchange rates and stuff. So he's perfectly happy. Wonderful. And last but not least, Sir Bertram, as new Lord of the Land, what do we see of you?
Well, I think it's a struggle. It takes Sir Bertram quite some time to build anything like civilization, but his self-belief is strong, as has been noted, and eventually he has a nice little castle set up and eventually manages to bring some semblance of order to the village. And he is as good as his word in terms of hospitality. And I think he hosts a great feast at the next harvest time and invites you all and regales you with tales of the building of this settlement and what it's like as Lord of the Land. And he's overjoyed to see you all. And when you all sit down to the feast, and it's a wonderful feast, you eat roast peacock and roast boar. And finally, the last course is a giant pie in the shape of a snail.
Oh, beautiful stuff. Excellent. And as the camera finally pans out, we see Gervais pleased with himself at how well he's dressed everyone now, as he's wearing proper clothes.
Yes.
And there is much rejoicing as the scene ends. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Thanks to my players. Let's give everybody one last chance to remind us of who they are and what they're up to. I'll just say for myself, I'm Gaz as well, co-hosting this. I co-host What Would the Smart Party Do, the UK Premier RPG podcast. Guy, do you want to tell us again what it is that you do and what you're up to?
From this, I do Burn After Running, rpg.com, which is a blog about mostly one-shot RPGs. So go and check it out and find out lots of stuff about running one-shots.
Beautiful stuff. Thanks for joining us, Lydia. Do you want to tell people where they can find you?
Thanks so much for having me, everybody. It's been an absolute blast. It's been a lot of fun, and I'll definitely want to play this again. You can find me at the podcast Lightless Beacons, which I co-manage. It's a Call of Cthulhu actual play podcast. And you can also occasionally find me at the Miskatonic Playhouse, where I'm a semi-regular cast member.
Beautiful stuff. And also, thanks for joining us as well, Camille.
Thanks so much for having me. Absolutely. I'll be thinking about giant snail the rest of the night, I think. If any, I'm doing out there. You roll podcast. We're sort of actual comedy horror podcast. Or alien, whole RPG, all sorts of stuff you on a podcast. Out. And if I Guy at MI. That's me.
Lovely stuff. Thank you. And would you like to remind us, Tasha, where we can find you?
You can always find me on Idearoll, which is a Ukrainian RPG channel. We mostly play in Ukrainian, but still don't let it hold you from dropping us a friendly comment in whatever language you speak. We'll be very happy with your support.
Wonderful. And I will include everybody's tags and other links down below in the show notes. So go and check them out. Check our other playlists on the things that we've done. And thank you, dear viewers. Please give us a like, share, and leave your comments because we love to hear from you and it helps the channel out.